Even on a dry day here in the UK, the road conditions are still absolutely grim. However, whether through necessity or choice, many of us do still want to get outside. Now, after years of spending the colder months on my dedicated winter road bike, this season it's been left gathering dust in my garage, as I think my gravel bike can do everything my winter bike can and more. If you can budget for it, then a second bike to handle harsh conditions is preferable to beating up your best bike year round. My summer bike is a Specialized Tarmac SL7, and even though it has disc brakes, I'm hesitant to expose it to the salted winter roads. I want to keep the spenny drivetrain parts lasting longer, yet I'm not keen on spending the whole winter locked up on the turbo. I've been on the lookout for a suitable alternative bike that can handle the winter conditions. Many people invest in a cheap bike that they don't mind abusing over the winter months, but for my rides, I've been choosing this, a gravel bike, and here's why. Unlike buying a cheap winter bike that you may only use for a few months before being unable to resist the urge to pull your summer steed back out, I'm pretty confident that I'll actually want to ride a gravel bike during the summer too. Gravel bikes are great for more than just riding on actual gravel, proving to be capable on almost all surfaces except very technical mountain bike trails. If you haven't watched it already, then you can see how much slower a gravel bike is on the road using the link up there, and the results might surprise you. If you can budget for it, opting for two wheel sets will give you even more versatility, as you'll have the flexibility to have one with road tyres and one with gravel tyres on. For example, I have a pair of wheels with an 1132 cassette for dry fast rides, and another with a 1044 cassette on for slower solo rides and of course gravel. As mentioned, this gravel bike is set up with SRAM Force AXS, and I like that the one bike gives me enough gears to get up steep technical climbs as well as reducing drivetrain maintenance. Gravel bikes typically have lower gearing than road bikes, which is achieved through the use of wider range cassettes. Just look at the size of this one, 44 teeth by the way, to save you counting. Gearing on a gravel bike is very rarely limiting. For most people, it will get you up just about everything, especially on the road, with only a bit of sacrifice at the top end on fast descents. One-by drivetrains also contribute to simplifying maintenance with fewer moving parts. This means they are less prone to issues caused by winter weather, such as debris buildup and snapped cables. The bike that I used at uni, the front mech would always seize. That was always the first thing to go. And I lived up the top of a very steep hill, Constitution Hill in Swansea. And every day I'd sort of have to kick it to get into the little ring. And yeah, it obviously bent and then broke. So no front mechs is just easier. Gravel bikes, even cheap ones, have generous tyre clearance, meaning there's room for fatter knobbly tyres as well as slicks. While it varies a lot, most gravel bikes will take at least a 40mm tyre, and then the Laufsegler, for example, can take a whopping 57mm tyre. However, many cheap road bikes, especially on the second-hand market, still have rim brakes, meaning they're limited to around 28mm tyres at the most. Personally, I prefer to train with wider tyres and have the flexibility to use even wider ones with mudguards as well. You can experience the best of both worlds by equipping your gravel bike with a slick 30mm tyre for a road-like feel, say. Alternatively, switching to wider, knobbly tyres means you'll still be able to ride even when it's a bit snowy and there's all that leaves and crap on the roads. Repeating the same routes on your road bike can become monotonous, especially when trying to stay motivated during the winter months when all your mates have disappeared off the face of the earth. That's where the versatility of a gravel bike makes it a great option, as it opens up a lot of new places that you can ride and explore. Instead, you can plot more interesting routes incorporating road and off-road sections, which helps to keep things interesting by providing a refreshing change in scenery. The adaptability of a gravel bike also means that you can change your plans mid-ride to adjust to changing weather or light conditions. With simple adjustments, you can make a gravel bike the perfect winter bike. For example, many gravel bikes have mudguard mounts, which are useful for protecting you and your bike from the inevitable slush and road spray that accompany the colder months. Some gravel bikes can also be fitted with panniers, making them handy for multi-day adventures too, or commuting. Gravel components are made with an emphasis on robustness and durability, distinguishing them from their road counterparts, as they need to survive the realities of off-road riding. Gravel bike frames are designed to withstand vibrations and impacts from varied terrain, and usually a gravel bike will have a bit more frame material to ward off any lively rocks and particularly bumpy bits. Gravel wheel sets often have sturdier rims and additional spoke counts to their equivalent road wheels. However, the trade-off in this durability is a slight increase in weight compared to components designed for road cycling. During the winter, that doesn't matter to me. Winter riding tends to be at a slower pace, so long, steady rides on the gravel bike can still be good training sessions to boost your cardiovascular fitness. The geometry of gravel bikes also leans towards a more relaxed riding position, which is advantageous for remaining comfortable on longer rides. Rides aren't as much about intervals in the winter, and there's less expectation on performance. This means you can go out and enjoy riding your bike, which is what cycling is about after all. There are numerous positives to disc brakes, and winter is the time of year when they are particularly useful. The vast majority of gravel bikes have disc brakes nowadays, which provides better stopping power in the wet and muddy conditions. They also won't wear out your wheel rims because there's no brake caliper biting against the rim. And another reason why gravel bikes are equipped with disc brakes is because they don't limit tyre size, allowing you to tailor your setup to different terrains. Motivating yourself to brave the cold and wind to ride outdoors can be difficult in winter, so gravel riding can be a warmer and more inviting alternative. Despite the temperature being the same, whether you head out on the road or a gravel ride, riding off-road is often more sheltered, minimising wind exposure and reducing wind chill as a result. You're also likely to be travelling slower, which again helps reduce that wind chill. Gravel bikes don't need to be expensive. You can find some pretty good deals on second-hand ones online. Alternatively, you can check out some of the best gravel bikes under £1,000 if you can budget for buying new on the road.cc website. Cheap road bikes are often limited in both tyre clearance and modern tech, and because wide tyres and tubeless technology have been much more widely accepted for longer in the world of gravel, you can generally pick up this tech for less than it would set you back on the road. For example, even gravel bikes from 6 years ago or so came with wheels that are tubeless ready. Just add sealant, pump the tyres up and you're away, with some extra puncture protection compared to most inner tubed options. If you're looking to buy a new bike to ride on gravel, it's worth buying one with a frame that you can upgrade over time, as it's far easier to upgrade components than it is a frame. Tyre choice is also more important than bike choice. Getting the right tread pattern and volume for the type of riding you'll be doing will make a huge difference to your speed, handling and riding enjoyment. What's your perfect winter bike setup? Let us know in the comments section below. If you like this content, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We'll see you next time.